Hi folks, it's Nathan from KBL Texas Homestead, and I want to welcome you back to the channel today. If you follow my channel for any length of time, you might notice a little something different about me. So if you notice something different about me, please leave a comment, drop them down in the comment section below. Let me know what you see different about me. We're gonna carry on with drilling some holes. We are in the process of building our fence up front, and today's task is to get some holes popped and drill in the ground. But first, we're gonna go over the machine and how it works, and just give you a little insight about it. So let's go check that out. All right, so here's the groundhog unit that I rented from Home Depot, and down here is a pin that holds the towing bar connection. So all you do is unhook it from the other side, slide the pin out, and it'll be disconnected from the towing bar, and you can get that out of the way. Make sure you unplug your lights, as it does have brake lights. It's road legal. Here you've got a little nubbin that goes into a hook, and basically the machine just sits on those nubbins, and on the back side of it you got another set of nubbins that the hook goes up under, so the leverage of the machine holds it in place. Now you'll simply raise the machine up, and I found this very cool, but the weight of the motor and the way they've designed it, that's your counterbalance. So the motor sits on the ground. As you lift it, the handle will stay up, and vice versa. Now you'll notice that the first nubbins, they've already come loose. Now all you got to do is simply raise up the tow bar, slide it back so it disengages from the hooks in the back, and then you'll be able to drop it to the ground. Okay, so here I'm disconnecting the unit, raising it, sliding it back. It drops to the ground. I can simply drag it and put it to the side, out of the way. You won't need that again until you get ready to take the machine back to Home Depot. You've got these levers here on the side of the machine with a little pin, and you simply pull both levers at the same time, and the handle folds back. Now this is great for when you got to get in tight next up to the house or an existing fence where you need that headroom. You can gain a foot, by removing that handle, and get your drilling head right up to where you need it. Now there's a lock on the drilling head. This lever here, you'll disengage the head, and it's a self-balancing head. It balances front and back and side to side, so that way if you're drilling on uneven land, you can make sure to get a straight hole and not one way or the other. But you simply pull that lever and your head is free to move around. Okay, and this here is your auger. It has the same locking pin as the tow bar did, so you simply unhook that and pull it out, and now you'll be able to slide that socket over this pin right here, and you see the holes line up on the auger and the pin head. You'll be able to slide your pin in there to lock them in place. Now what I do is just simply firmly press the auger tip into the ground, so it's standing up, and then I can lower the unit onto it. What you want to try to do is get the orientation of the square hole up top as the same orientation as the square head on your machine. You get it orientated right, then you can just lower the unit down and try to put it in there. Now it is a task doing it with one hand and holding the camera. I didn't have my tripod set up. As you can see here, the holes line up pretty good, dead on. So you simply just slide your pin in there. You'll have to maneuver and finagle the machine. Like I said, again, using both hands, it makes it a lot easier. But you slide the pin in, lock it in place, and then you're good to go. Okay, this dial here actually locks the head in place, so your whole unit there can rotate 180 degrees left or right on this shaft down here. you can see this lever, it's just basically a bolt that screws down in and hits that to keep it from rotating. So once you get to where you're level side to side, you rotate that lever, you lock it in place, and your bit head won't move. Okay, now here I'm just laying out the centers of my post. I have north and south, east and west centers. I've got a string line ran. You can't barely see it, but there's a string line ran kind of about a little over knee high. And I'm taking my measuring tape and I'm measuring each post on 8-foot centers. Now, depending on what type of fence you're putting up is going to determine what centers you put your post on. A lot of people do 7-foot centers for a privacy fence. If you're going to do just wire fencing, you can do 10, 12-foot centers and get away with it. I've chose to go 8-foot centers, and that's just simply because I want to buy 8-foot lumber and not have a lot of trim access, a lot of leftover scrap wood. So I chose to put my post on 8-foot centers. Now I pre-marked all my holes all the way across the fence line on both sides for 8-foot centers, and I'm going to start drilling. Object of today is to go ahead and get all the holes drilled that I need while I have this rental piece of equipment, and then when I get done I can take it back to Home Depot and spend other days and other weekends putting this fence up. But today we're just drilling holes, so just keep drilling, just keep drilling. Alright, take 3. Action. Alright, I shot the first 2 takes and forgot to turn on the external mic. So now I'm shooting it again. I want to thank you for coming along and watching me drill some holes and talk a little bit about the machine that I used. I do want to say a little more about that machine. It is a great machine. If you got any holes you need to drill around the house, it beats doing it by hand. I think it was $101 for a 24-hour period, so I thought that was pretty reasonable. I loved it because there was no lifting and loading of the machine. It was towable. It had a real easy tow bar that you hooked up and disconnected. You were able to drive it to location. Once you got it there, you disconnect it, and then it was fairly easy to move to and from location each hole that I had to drill. Now I had to drill 37 holes. I was not going to do that by hand. I was pushing it to get it done in a day, which really was like half a day hour wise. I think it took me 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that, to drill all the holes. They were all in the line, started from one side of my property to the next to meet some existing fencing, but that that groundhog was excellent, man. Home Depot, I don't know where they get it from, but that tool, that machine was excellent. The counterweight on it with the motor and the bit was just ideal. The flex head of the bit to allow you to set the machine on a slope and still drill at a level level to the ground and straight down and not have your poles cattywonka. That really worked out. Alright folks, take 4, action. Alright, so as I was doing take 3, the sunlight kind of impeded on me. It was all in my face, so I'm just going to continue on from here. But again, that was the groundhog. I rented it from Home Depot. It's a great tool. I was really impressed with the ease of it. It looks like it might be a little work, but it was fairly easy, man. It's self-explanatory. You get it hooked up, get the first hole, then after that it was a breeze. I got the hang of it. You push down on it, let the bit do the work. It ate up the ground. I got into some real tough clay down here in Texas where I'm at. I got a lot of clay. We got into some clay and it just, man, it ate through it. I did have to lift it up a few times each hole to let the excess clay come flying out, because if not it would bog the machine down. But it was smooth. It drilled through it, did a great job, and I highly recommend it. If you have some holes you need drilled, go to Home Depot and rent that groundhog, the towable. It's well worth it. So hope you enjoyed the video today. There'll be further videos of the fence as I move along with it and get it erected and put together, and everything I'm going to be doing and how I'm doing it. So thank you for watching. Nathan with KBL Texas Homestead, and remember, like always, till next time.